Hello, folks. Welcome back to Rolling Start,
Greatest
the
podcast in the world.
American F1 podcast. We are talking all things Baku.
Azerbaijan.
So this week, the F1 gods showed up, gave Lando just a gift. He can't capitalize. We're going to get to that later. The Williams smooth operator, Carlos Sainz, finds his wings, scoring his first podium with the new team. The Kiwi puts on a defensive clinic, leading a DRS train all the way to a season best 6th place, vaulting himself through the Drivers' Championship places. But first, we got to talk about Max and his dominance once again. He leads the entire race, undeniable, undisputed, and I think he's leading me to believe that the Drivers' Championship might not be over until it's over.
That's a bold statement.
Thoughts here, James?
I mean, Max shows again that he knows how to cleanly win a race.
Cleanly. He won by like 15 seconds at the end.
From pole to the checkered lap, he was all 51 laps in front. Wins by a margin of 14 plus seconds. Fastest lap. At what point does Max's talent completely override all of Red Bull's failures and bring that team back to where it needs to be?
Well, here's the thing, though. I think we're starting to see the team kind of find themselves
adjust
again, where it's not just Max dragging a car that deserves to be on the bottom of the Atlantic to a win. Yuki scored significant points today.
Yep.
The team is starting to adjust. We're starting to see them actually act as a cohesive whole here.
That's a good point.
And so that's the thing we've been missing.
Yeah.
That's the thing we've been missing. And so, question, I realize it's loaded. Is McLaren worried about Red Bull's shift in performance recently? Should they be worried?
Not for themselves, but they should be worried for their drivers.
Well, for the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, obviously McLaren has the constructors cinched. They'll have that next week in Singapore. The reality for them as they look down the barrel of the last 7 races is who's going to steal our points. And so you look at a race like today where they were the presumptive victors.
Oh, they were going to dominate champagne this weekend.
They were going to be 1 and 2. We thought it was going to be a race between Lando and Norris.
Lando and Oscar?
Lando and Norris. Lando and Oscar, not Lando finishing towards the back of the points and Oscar into the wall.
And Max just 25-point bite into the championship. That's
rips
huge.
Into the championship. Now he's still 69 points behind, and that's a lot of points for 7 races, which he said, that's a quote from Max Verstappen.
Of course, it's a lot of points, but
we're heading
mathematically,
of course it's
still
mathematically
very much in it.
I wouldn't say he's very much in it.
The last 2 races, he's been driving like it was 2023 again.
Yes, but we're also going to Singapore next week, which is going to be brutal for Red Bull. They suck at Singapore. Absolutely suck. Remember
Mercedes,
their dominant season? The one race they lost?
I know.
They're
like,
to be.
Wait, what?
Which was also our smooth operator.
That was.
Yeah, I don't think anyone at McLaren is sweating because they have the Constructors' Championship in the bag. I do think they're looking in each garage. The team is stressing. Lando's side, Oscar's side. It's now shifted from us against the grid to us against each other.
Yeah. Here's where I'm going to push back just a little bit. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story, James. I'm going to tell you a story. The Cleveland Cavaliers, being led by the one and only LeBron James, go back to the championships, to the NBA Finals, to face the greatest team in NBA history. Best season record, Golden State Warriors. And everyone, I was living in California, as a Cleveland fan, and everyone is just ripping into me. as the season's getting, or as the series is starting to get started, because it's clear Golden State's going to just sweep these guys.
Right.
And when it goes down 3-1, they're like, dude, this is it. It's over.
Yeah.
You're done. You're done. And then it turned and it never went back. And the Cavs win it in 7 in one of the greatest NBA finals of all time.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I'm starting to feel a little bit with this drivers' championship. Yes, McLaren's got the constructors cinched. They're going to lock down to Singapore. They're going to get that locked away this year. The drivers, I do believe they should start worrying if they're not already. And we'll get into this when we talk about McLaren a little bit later. But Max, we've said this before, Max is inevitable.
Yes.
And when you give that man half of a car, that guy can finish a race 15 seconds ahead of P2.
Totally.
We see that last week. We see that this week. Now, again, Singapore has been that kryptonite for Red Bull. But if Max can
that's
win,
not the rest of the season. That's
not
1 out of 6 races. That's 1 out of 7 races. Yeah.
If Max can win or can score significant points, which I believe he can in Singapore, he's going to continue to etch away. And we're starting to get into territory where Max can be the deciding factor. Now, again,
he'd be in the mix. Yeah.
Mathematically, it's still hard, but I do think McLaren drivers, Oscar specifically, this weekend, there should be a shiver going down his spine because Max reminded Oscar what it's like going up against the defending world champion.
Totally.
And Oscar made all of the mistakes that someone who is for the first time fighting for a driver's championship would make at this point in the season.
Yeah. And Max is 69 points behind Piastri, but he's only 44 points behind Norris. That's not a large gap at all.
So Lando should be the one that's really...
Lando should be nervous because if Max continues on this tyrannical blast,
having his way with McLaren.
It's not a fluke anymore. It's 2 consecutive wins in a row now.
Dominant wins.
Dominant wins.
Yeah.
And so it's not like earlier in the year. This is the 4th win for Max this season, but it was impressive. It was on merit. It was not because someone didn't show up that day. It's because Max and the car were there in Azerbaijan. There's no mistake. Yeah. And you know that the Red Bull was there because of where Yuki was. Yuki's in P6. Yeah. So it wasn't Max only driving a car for Max. It was the car was good.
Yep.
And the drivers both delivered. Where, Norris is looking at a 25-point gap between him and Piastri, which is not a lot.
No.
But it is a lot if Max is getting P1. If Max is snaking P2 and getting in between him and Oscar, it makes Oscar and Norris's job so much harder now that Max has shown up.
I think it is a higher and higher percentage that Max is going to be the spoiler for the 1-2 for Oscar and Lando. I think he's going to spoil it. I think he's going to get in the middle and he is going to go for second. And Lando at this point really has to show up to deny him of that. But there is an increasing chance that Max is going for first.
Oh, 100%.
He's still a defending world champion.
Well, Max is going to race
slice out.
Max is not. He doesn't care. He's giving it his all every weekend. We know this. When he had already won the constructors and the world championship, he still raced like he had everything to lose.
Yeah.
Every weekend.
Yeah,
he just
absolutely
dominated. He's not going to stop. He never will. He is metronomic. He is a machine.
He is. So let's shift to McLaren. Let's talk about McLaren now.
Oh, poor McLaren.
So if I'm McLaren, did I just blink? If I'm going to stare down with Max, was this the weekend where I blinked?
Tell me more.
McLaren got it wrong on multiple levels. Their drivers got it wrong. The team got it wrong with the pit stop. Now, again, this was a weekend from hell.
It was
for
awful.
Half of the grid.
They're exhausted because both their drivers just binned it.
They just binned it. But let's just start with Oscar for a second. Oscar has an atrocious qualifying.
100%.
He starts way back, but then he blinks where he actually starts too soon.
100%.
Stops, has to try to start again, and then literally the entire field passes him. So now he's racing angry, and by was it turn 5? He bends it right into the wall, and his race is over.
Yeah, the championship leader bottled it.
Yeah,
he made rookie mistakes. The golden boy who's never cracked 34 consecutive race finishes,
points finishes,
done in a moment with a DNF because he jumps the start.
Why did he jump the start? This is what I'm trying to get at. Is did he blink? Did the pressure get to him? Did starting that far back get to him? Did Max on pole, Max in the front, him behind his teammate, did that finally just snap cool Oscar Piastri?
I think that's what we saw, because what you just said is not a sentence that we've said before. You have said he was driving angry. The one thing that Piastri has had going for him this entire time is that his emotions almost get taken out of his body and put somewhere else for the race, for the race period.
He just hands him to Zach Brown. Here's my emotional baggage.
Exactly.
I'm just going to become like a drone and drive this thing.
And it's not because, we see him kind of smirk or smile when he won his first race. It was like, man, this is really good. And you're like, are you on Prozac? Are you medicated?
I mean, Carlos Sainz gets a P3 and is smooth operating the whole way off.
He's all but crying, screaming into the, you know what I mean? Yeah. McLaren's future is built on a guy that can't even make it past turn 5. And for me, I looked at this weekend and I said, does this prove that Norris is still McLaren's real hope for the title? Or does this prove that Piastri might not be as mature in his F1 driving as we thought? It's a tough one.
It's a tough one because it was just such a bad showing from both of them. Oscar obviously had the worst showing of the two, for all the reasons we just said. He, jumps at the start, he bends it into the wall, he's out. And then Lando, literally the F1 gods say, hey, Lando, we saw you at the Dutch Grand Prix. You got it. It was bad. Cute. Now we're going to literally reverse the table and say, go for it. 100%. And Lando can't capitalize on the fact that his rival and teammate is out and he has a chance to dig in 25 points. And it wasn't just that Max spoiled it for Lando. It was that Yuki spoiled it for Lando.
100%.
It was that the team had a long pit stop and Lando got stuck behind Liam and Chuck
100%.
and Yuki.
Yeah.
And so it was just, this is when I talk about the team collectively blinking in the face of this pressure that Max and Red Bull is starting to apply. And I think we've just assumed this entire season to this point that McLaren is inevitable. McLaren is going to win both championships. And I'm saying at this point, well, hang on a second. We're starting to see a resurgent Red Bull.
Yeah.
And there's something about mental pressure that plays a massive role. But we saw it.
On the flip side of that, in the past, we've said, hey, is Norris too mentally fragile to be a world champion?
We have.
But then you looked at today, a day where he's going, oh, this is the flip side of my PU failure. This is my redemption story, a track that I'm good at. Yep. The car underneath him didn't do what he thought it would do. Piastri's out. Norris can't capitalize. He's in a title fight and he's losing to Yuki Sonoda.
What a statement.
The Lando Norris of 2 years ago would have been crumbling in the media section, would have been hard to speak. He was calm. He was like, hey, we didn't do it this weekend. The team all but screwed him with his pants on with that with that pit stop. It was a 4-second pit stop that was supposed to get him in front of those that he had been battling with. And
another terrible pit stop.
Another terrible pit stop. It's the team's fault. And he absorbed it. He said, we didn't have it all together this weekend.
True that. Yeah.
And to me, I'm going, okay, wait a second. Has like some of Piastri's calm rubbed off on Norris and some of Norris's intense emotions rubbed off on Piastri. And now we're looking at a well-rounded Lando Norris that's less hard on the sleeve, clueless.
Yeah.
And more, okay, I think I can do this.
Yeah. I mean,
that rhymed. I didn't mean it to, but man, it's pretty good.
I mean, that's
I don't want to toot my own
great
horn,
question.
But
that's a great question, and yay for the rhyme. I mean,
yay for the
rhyme. I hope for McLaren's sake, and that is inclusive of all of them, Lando, Oscar, the whole team, that this was a one-off.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't, then Lando really should be concerned about how hard Max is charging, and Oscar should start becoming concerned.
Yes.
So again,
yes,
I think we are seeing this team be tested.
Yes.
And I love that it's Max applying the pressure.
Yeah, of course.
I love that it's like
he's the best antagonist in the world.
World champion say, hey, I'm still here.
I'm still here. Don't forget about me.
Still here.
Yeah.
You can't count me out yet. And I love that even with the utter upheaval Red Bull is. Like, imagine this for a second. Imagine Zach Brown gets canned from McLaren midway through the season.
Yes.
That's what happened to Red Bull.
100%.
Christian Horner is.
Lauren Meckies is loving life. Two of their consecutive wins has been on his watch.
I mean, and Sky Sports, a lot of these commentators have been saying hey, we think that he's somehow, as an engineer, finding a way.
Brought it all together.
Brought it together in a way that, again, Horner was old school.
Well, it's less political.
Principle.
It's more factual. Data doesn't lie, a good friend of mine says.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, McLaren, this is what I love about Formula One.
Right.
McLaren came into this weekend and they thought they had the championship in the bag. They had 1,700 bottles of Dom Perignon ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
They were so excited to celebrate their second consecutive championship.
First time in decades.
Consecutive
constructors.
And Piastri poured gasoline on it and threw his Zippo or a cigarette just straight onto it. It just went up in flames. Like the curse of Baku striked, and they are done. Their race this weekend is the equivalent of like Max at Baku kicking his tire. Like the famous scene where he's just like kicking the car.
Yeah.
They were the championship leader, expecting to crown themselves this weekend. Their drivers were nowhere.
Yeah, dude.
One of them literally was sitting on a metal folding chair with his feet up on the concrete barrier, watching the race
on
someone else's phone. Like it was embarrassing. Is this the turning point in the championship fight?
Yes, on a few levels. If Lando loses, he will look back on Baku.
Mm-hmm.
If Max beats Lando for P2, we will look back on Baku.
Yeah.
If Max somehow spoils this championship for Oscar, we will look back on Baku. Like, this is it.
Yeah, this is the race.
Baku and the Dutch Grand Prix are two defining moments for both the McLaren drivers and also for Max.
Yes.
And so, yes, absolutely. Like this, we went from the constructors being an inevitability. Like, it's going to happen. The constructors for McLaren is going to happen. But we just added a question mark about the drivers' championship now.
Right.
Baku has added a question mark and an underscore and a real legitimate concern that a late charge by the underdog team that Red Bull has been this year could actually be successful.
Yeah.
Like Baku is the race we'll look back on if Max can spoil it for Lando or for Oscar.
Yes.
And I'm freaking here for it.
I'm so here for it. I mean, dude,
let's go.
Red Bull may be dead. They might be coming back. We're not sure. But Verstappen is alive. He is very much alive. This guy can't stop farming wins.
Dude.
This is what happens when you put talent that's greater than the car together.
This is
4 wins,
I love this guy.
2 consecutive. Like, this puts Max back in the hunt. Yes, it's statistically a long shot.
It's a long shot.
Place anyone in a statistical long shot, you want Max Verstappen there.
Dude, I'm from Cleveland. I will take
you
a
live
long
your life
shot
in statistical long
any
shots.
day. I mean, Cleveland Browns, they beat the best team in the NFL on a long shot, fourth quarter, come from behind win today. This is like Christmas for me.
Yes.
Max and the Browns, like, my God. Can we go to the other side of the Red Bull stable and talk about the Racing Bulls?
Yeah, 100%.
Liam Lawson, first off, qualifies in P3.
Legendary.
Like,
the craziest qualifying. You couldn't really understand it because it was.
Can I talk about that for a second?
Yeah, 100%.
Can I tell our listeners why? So,
I have
ESPN and Sky Sports.
Which I've been talking to you about. You just need to get the F1 app. Shout out to the F1 app. I'm telling you.
I like Sky Sports coverage, which is streamed in America on ESPN. Well, apparently, if you don't watch qualifying live, ESPN just kind of like rolls the dice and they're like, this week is going to be in Spanish and the playback is only going to be in Spanish and you're not going to have any other options.
You live in Los Angeles. You should speak Spanish anyway.
And so I really should. I've lived here for 10 years. Like, I really should speak Spanish. My kids, they need to learn Spanish because we're going to live here for the rest of our lives. But I don't speak Spanish yet. And so I literally am like, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
We had talked. I knew qualifying was insane. I knew it was 3 hours long or 2 hours long. And I'm like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling my wife, I'm like, babe, I got to watch this thing. So I'm
Spanish
watching
for 2 hours.
In Spanish.
So
I just
confused.
like turn it down and I'm just like, oh my God. So no, I did not fully immerse myself in qualifying. It was in Spanish the entire time, but you did. And Liam gets P3.
I mean, he's the reserve driver that nobody wanted. And now he's outscoring. He's in 13th, almost half the grid.
He jumped from like P18 to P13.
Yeah. Liam's like the Kiwi Verstappen all of a sudden.
I mean, and here's the thing about him. He's got some fight in him.
Oh, he has some fight.
Here's the thing about Baku. And we talked about this before we started recording. So for the benefit of our listeners, the reason that Baku all of a sudden, with the longest straight in the universe, but no overtaking, the reason that's happening is because the teams are not developing their car.
No, they're focused on 2026.
They're focused on the next season. It makes sense because they're like, hey, McLaren has cinched this thing up. We're not going to be developing our cars any further. So we didn't see the kind of overtaking you should see when the straight is 3 miles long.
Correct.
But what we did see from Liam specifically is a DRS train for the back half of this race where he held up Chuck, Lando, Yuki. Like, this guy was holding everyone up on merit. And so that was the moment where I think there was, a flag in the ground, a stake in the ground. Liam drew a line in the sand and said, hey, I'm here and I'm freaking giving this everything I got.
And most importantly, he finished P5 and Yuki in the Red Bull finished P6. Career best finish in Formula One for Liam. In P5, double points for Red Bulls Racing Bulls as a team. And I think they're first this season. Double points for Racing Bulls.
I'd have to check that, yeah.
And the thing that was crazy to me is Liam, who obviously had, his P5, Yuki's P6, Lando's P7, and Lando was on Yuki's tailpipe.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was all over that back. He might as well have been the DRS flap for Yuki. Like, he was right there. Yes. And Yuki said, when you're racing the Red Bull family, like, I can't just dive bomb down the inside because if I take him out, I'm taking out another Red Bull driver, as well as I've got Lando Norris right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Yuki should have admitted that on air. I don't know if Yuki should have waded into those waters, because I still think there's part of the Red Bull stable that's like, we want aggressive Max style. I don't care who's behind me. I don't care who's in front of me.
Yeah.
I will be in front.
Yeah, do you remember when
take
Max
this position.
took out Danny Ricciardo and they took each other out in Baku years ago?
Yes.
Those are two Red Bull drivers just being like, screw you, I'm going
Amazing.
for this.
Amazing. Exactly. So I guess my question is like, does Red Bull regret not locking Liam down in that main seat, or is the verdict still out?
I think the verdict's still out. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the future for both Isaac, Hadjar, Yuki. Also, Red Bull has another driver currently in F2 that they're toying with. I don't even actually know his name, but they're thinking about bringing him up. This weekend, it sounded like they are going to be leaving that driver in F2 next season.
Yeah.
And it's going to be between Isaac, Liam, and Yuki. Here's the thing. If I'm Liam, I'm happy where I'm at.
100%.
Because guess what? I just beat Yuki.
100%.
In a Red Bull.
Yeah. And both McLarens.
And both McLarens. And
did you think we were going to say
Ferrari
that?
And Ferrari.
Yes. Both Ferraris.
I mean, this is Liam on merit in a racing bull.
100%.
And so here's my thing. I think Liam's in his sweet spot. I think Liam's where he needs to be.
Yep.
The real question marks are around Yuki.
Mm-hmm.
And does Yuki get pushed back down to Racing Bull? And does Isaac get elevated? I think the jury's out on all of it.
Yeah.
Like everyone.
So you don't think that they're going to drop one of them in favor for the F2 guy?
From what I heard this weekend, no. It sounds like they're going to hold on to who they have as of now. It's Red Bull. They could,
they could change their mind.
They could change their mind
tomorrow.
But it's not Christian Horner's Red Bull anymore. And so with Mekis, we might see a different
approach, a more conservative approach for sure.
I
mean, he still obviously has Helmut Marko breathing down his neck, but he is the team principal.
He is.
He holds a large stake in who drives for that team. I do want to talk about Yuki specifically for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
McLaren lost to Yuki. Think about that. Coming into this weekend, based off of what we've seen this season from the second Red Bull seat, would you have put any money on Yuki beating both McLarens in Baku this week?
Hell no.
Absolutely not. Norris beat by 1.4 seconds on pace alone. Obviously, he beat Piastri by quite a bit as he didn't finish the race. Does Yuki deserve this Red Bull seat more because of today's performance?
It's a step in the right direction.
Right. Talk to me.
Absolutely a step in the right direction. Yuki has struggled.
Oh, 100%.
In Red Bull.
No question about it.
We've seen that this entire season. I mean, prior to this, so at the Dutch Grand Prix, he gets 9th. Do you remember the last time he scored prior to the Dutch Grand Prix?
Nope.
It was at Imola.
Yeah, that's rough.
So he had spent 7 races without scoring in a Red Bull.
That's
now,
tough.
Meanwhile, Max in that same span had scored in every single one of those races except one where he DNF'd the Austrian Grand Prix. So Yuki was in the doldrums
100%.
and is just now starting to turn it around. I mean, this is his best result since the China and Miami sprints where he got 6th, which that, 8th is where they cut off the points. So, I mean, that isn't really the kind of result. So this is his best result of the season.
Yeah. In an actual Formula One Sunday race.
Sunday race. So if I'm Yuki, I'm looking at the last 7 races and saying, I have 7 races to hold on to this seat with all my life.
To hold on to a seat in Formula One, period.
Yeah. And I have a team principal who's cheering me on, who wants me to succeed in a way that Horner never did.
Right.
Horner was more, apathetic at best and hostile at worst. And so, it's a great step, but it kind of is just a first step.
Yes.
What
and
are your thoughts?
The hard part for me is like Yuki Sonoda is in 17th place in the driver standings. He's got 20 points. He's equal with Pierre Gasly in a freaking Alpine.
And Alpine is nowhere.
Alpine's nowhere. His teammate, who's in a Red Bull, and granted, yes, his teammate is a 4-time world champion. Is he 4 or 3? 4, right?
It's 4.
Yeah. 255 points. That's a really large gap.
It's a canyon.
It's a very, very large gap. His baby sister team, the next driver is Lawson at P13, and Hadjar, who's its first year in Formula One, in 9th in the driver standing.
Yeah.
Hadjar has 39 points. Yuki has 20.
It's not looking good.
He has half the amount as Isaac Hadjar, who crashed out on his debut race. If he does not perform for the rest of this year, if he does not pull himself up by his bootstraps, what does his future look like?
I think there's a very real possibility that he's no longer in Formula One.
I think they might. That's why I was surprised when you said they're going to hang on.
Well, I was surprised as well when I heard that this weekend from the Sky team, especially considering where Yuki's at. But I go back to what I said. This is a first step. This is the first meaningful
it is a first step
result Yuki has had.
I think my thought is this step too late?
Say more.
The gun went off. Everyone's running. They're halfway around the track. And you take your nose out of the roses and realize that the race has started and you start running. Yeah, you took a first step.
Yeah.
But are you catching up or are you just finishing the race?
It'll be very hard for him to catch Liam and Isaac.
It'll be almost impossible because they're going to keep scoring. They're on a roll. They've got the mo.
Yeah.
He may have it. And if Red Bull continues to pull their car together, but we're going to Singapore next week, that's going to be a hit to the comfort. That's going to be a hit to his, confidence. So I'm a little concerned about Yuki. I don't know. My bet is that I think you're right. I think Hadjar will get the Red Bull seat. Whether he wants it or not is another question.
Yeah. And
I think we're going to see either Lawson or Sonoda leave.
I don't think it's going to be Lawson. But here's the thing.
Really?
No. I don't think he's going to leave. I think they're going to hold on to him.
They're going to hold on to Lawson.
Here's the thing with Yuki. Yuki should not go back down to Racing Bulls. This is just some kind of yo-yo that the team is playing with him. If you're not going to keep him in Red Bull, let the man go.
Yeah, or send him to another team.
But yeah, don't keep bringing him up, bringing him down, bringing him up, bringing him up. That's just not fair to him. And it's not...
Well, just call a spade a spade. No one wants to be a seat warmer in Formula One.
No.
Unless you're Lance Stroll. You don't want to just be here because you're here.
Yes. You either can be here or you need to be somewhere else.
Exactly.
So that's my only perspective really on Yuki is I think if he can consistently score meaningful points,
right,
he's got a shot at hanging on to Red Bull's seat. If he can't, then I think, to your point, Isaac's probably going to take it, and Yuki loses out again.
Man, crazy.
It is bonkersville. Should we talk Mercedes?
I think we could just go straight. We could skip over.
Let's talk Mercedes. Well, here's the thing. Your team, P4... No. Sorry, hang on a second.
Exactly. This is the definition of my team. Wait, here's the thing. Your team, P4...
2 and P4.
It's not memorable. Is the problem.
It isn't. Here's the thing about Mercedes. Good enough to score meaningful points, mediocre enough for us to completely forget their racing. Like, they got meaningful points today.
100%. Second and fourth. That's really good points.
Solid points. George Russell pulled a Michael Jordan in the 1997 NBA Finals where he's got food poisoning, goes
sick in bed all week. He smokes the grid. Mr. Saturday is back on Sunday.
We're like 10 laps from the end of the race, and I'm like, wait a second. Is George Russell in P2?
Yes.
And the man already pitted? Like,
yes.
He's legitimately in P2. He wasn't talking to media the entire week.
No.
They thought he had COVID.
He could barely talk.
And then
he didn't sound like himself when he came over the radio during qualifying or any of the practice sessions.
Like, what the heck? But here's still the problem with Mercedes. I am surprised when they show up, and I also realize I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like they're in this funky spot in the constructors. Now, again, they're legitimately fighting with Ferrari. They're now only 4 points back. They're only 4 points back from Ferrari. They have 286. Ferrari's got 290.
No, you've got that flipped. Mercedes has 290. Ferrari has 286. So they're in P2 because of this weekend. Yeah.
So they got P2 again. Look at that. Yes.
Mercedes can't build a winning car in these regulations. George is dragging that car to the podium. George, in my perspective, is like, okay, Ferrari's now got Lewis. Lewis is now Ferrari's problem.
Yes.
And I'm now the guy at Mercedes.
Yes.
He comes out this weekend. He's 0.2 seconds slower than Verstappen's fastest lap. Impressive.
Not bad.
This is his second P2 finish of this season. Impressive.
Yeah.
Since it's been dominated by McLaren. Is George Russell underrated as the most consistent British driver on the grid?
Absolutely. George Russell has scored in every single race this year, save Monaco, where he was 11th.
Where do you think George Russell would be if he was in a McLaren?
He'd be winning.
I think he would be out. He would be a championship contender right now.
The man won in Canada. Like, the man has gotten multiple podiums this season.
For all of his idiosyncrasies, in which there are plenty.
There are plenty.
He is so ridiculously fast and consistent.
The man really is just metronomic, and he is underrated. And I think it's the car. I think it's the curse of Mercedes right now. It almost feels as if Russell's back in a Williams when Williams couldn't give him a car to succeed. Like, the man,
but he's just wringing the neck.
He's wringing the neck, and again, like, it is not apples to apples.
No.
I get it, because he's scoring every single race this year, save Monaco, but it's still kind of the same thing where he joins Mercedes and he thinks, I'm joining as we're going to continue this era of dominance.
Exactly.
And psych, George, you joined as they were plummeting
100%.
down to the doldrums.
100%.
So, yeah, he joined at a terrible moment.
Yes.
And he's rode the team out. And, you know, he has done the thing Lewis kind of gave up on Mercedes.
Yeah.
And realized, like, you know, maybe I made a mistake here. Maybe, like, I left them when there was still something there. Like, George has kept his trust in Mercedes even through this era of awfulness. But here's the thing that's frustrating for me as a viewer and not a Mercedes fan. I don't care. I say all of that, and I don't care. And you know who also doesn't care? Sky Sports.
No, Sky Sports is so done with Mercedes.
Sky Sports, they have given up on Mercedes coverage. They've given up on Aston Martin coverage. Yeah. They don't care.
Yes.
They're like,
without the Toto Wolff and Christian, like, clickbait, they're kind of slipping into ambiguity a little bit.
They are.
And because their results aren't super high, and because Kimi is so inconsistent, they've just kind of become the same news. George is kind of where, he did a little bit better than we thought.
Yay,
and Kimi is in the wall again.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of Mercedes this season.
Yeah, and Sky's like, there's more interesting storylines elsewhere. So,
but I do think there is something to, like, George. Look, as a Mercedes fan, I was nervous, man.
Yeah,
for George to come over as the point guy and to take over from Lewis. Big shoes to fill.
I mean,
colossal
shoes to fill.
Yeah, and shoes that could quickly feel like cement slippers,
straight to the bottom.
Exactly.
Of the bed.
But I do feel that George Russell, he's like that guy on the team where, you know, someone steps up to the plate and they hit a homer right away. And you're like, oh, that kid's got talent. Rest of the game, can't replicate it. Can't do it again. And then you got the other kid that hops up. He doesn't hit a homer, but it goes straight to the ground and it goes straight past second base, or it goes straight out to the field. And he puts the ball exactly where he wants it. And which one do you want as a coach?
I have a perfect example for you. Perfect example.
We're coaches now, so we can talk.
We're coaches now.
Yeah.
We're coaches now. For our listeners, we coach baseball now. It's T-ball. But here's a perfect example. Going back to Cleveland sports,
everything goes back to freaking Ohio.
Well, of examples
for our non-American listeners. Ohio is the equivalent of a beige Volvo of a state in America. It's just the kind of car that you never want.
Absolutely. But there's drama in the sports field. I'm telling you.
It's drama because they
gives you
suck
so much. But to my point here's the thing. So several years ago, Cleveland Guardians, which is the Cleveland baseball team, formerly the Cleveland Indians, we changed our name, Cleveland Guardians now. They had this
got canceled
philosophy of play called small ball. They didn't hit home runs because they didn't have guys that could step up to the plate.
Yeah, no Barry
and
Bonds.
Lewis Hamilton it, right? Like they didn't have that. They would play games like small ball where you're hitting singles, you're hitting doubles, you're stealing, you're making these small plays that seem insignificant, but they're consistent. They're metronomic. And guess what? They were beating teams like the New York Yankees. They were giving the Houston Astros a run for their money. For non-Americans, these were like the championship defending teams. There was literally a playoff season where the New York Yankees were one game away from elimination. And the New York Yankees are like, they're the Bronx Bombers. All they do is hit home runs.
They're the equivalent of Ferrari.
They're a Ferrari, right?
Once were amazing.
They're a Ferrari.
Now they just overpay all their players.
And this is the thing about George Russell. George Russell is a small ball player.
He's the Spurs in the early 2010s.
It's just consistency. It's not sexy
the fundamentals. No, it's the fundamentals.
It's like every once in a while you're like, he's
which is
sexy.
Why people go, oh, Mercedes is still in this?
They're still
Mercedes is second. What?
Like we were sleeping on Mercedes. Second. It's because it's the small ball. It's like, I don't know if there's actual phrase for an F1 if they have an 100%. Equivalent of that, but
and their drivers and their teams will cash their check being second in the constructors, and they'll go, okay, we have less than half the points of McLaren. How are we going to change it next year?
Yeah, and guess what? All those team members at Mercedes, guess what? They're getting their bonus checks if they get second and they hold on to it. Mm-hmm. They're getting more money than anyone else besides McLaren.
The reason why I say all of this about George Russell is because next year, I think consistency, not one-off flashes in the pan, is what's going to win somebody the driver's championship.
Are you saying Russell has a chance?
I'm saying next year, if Mercedes comes with a car and everyone else is trying to push it to the full limits, Russell eases into it all, gets the car where the reason why he's Mr. Saturday is because it's free practice 1. I'm building on that in free practice 2. I've made the adjustments. I'm building on it in free practice 3. Q1, Q2, Q3. How are you here?
Yeah.
That's Mr. Saturday. And when you have a brand new car, that's just how his mind works. I think he's going to ease into that car and he's going to say, hey, I could really push this, but I don't know if the car's going to go there. So I'm just going to stay on the track.
Yeah.
I'm going to get where I need to go. And I think we could be looking at him this season. He may look back and go, that was my maturing season to get me to become a world champion.
I mean,
that's my narrative.
That's your narrative.
I'm dreaming for as a Mercedes fan.
Hold on to
wearing
it
a Williams t-shirt with Carlos Sainz on it. I'm saying that's what.
Hold on to it with both hands. Here's the thing. I'd love to see a George Russell fighting for a championship. I mean, the man,
he's good looking. He deserves it
himself. Like he
love that you call him
deserves a championship. The man showed up sick as a dog. Valtteri Bottas is like, what does a guy need to do to get
literally
drive these?
I know
days?
I'm driving for Cadillac next year, but can you at least just get me back in the car for a weekend?
At least let me have a go around Baku. But George is like, no, I'm sick as a dog. Can't do press, but I can get P2. 100%. And this is what the man did. Let's go
to Carlos Sainz.
To the man on your t-shirt.
How serendipitous this was. I ordered this like 3 weeks ago and I totally forgot. And Saturday it shows up. I watch qualifying. Sainz is almost P1.
Yeah, Max stole it from him with time expired.
Exactly. And then I'm like, wow, that was the craziest 2 hours of my entire life that I've watched. 6 red flags, a record. And big red flags, not like randos. I mean, there were randos in there, but big people. And okay, now Carlos Sainz is starting. What? and then finishes the race in P3.
There was a minute I got a little nervous that he was going to lose out on that podium.
Yes.
A little nervous. But the man brings it all the way home. Here's the thing about Carlos. Carlos got shafted by Ferrari. Just call it what it is. Now, again, do I blame them for that?
Yeah.
No, because it was Lewis.
Yes.
It was Lewis. But here's the weird twist of fate and irony is that Carlos gets a podium before Lewis does.
Carlos gets it before Lewis Hamilton.
In a Williams.
Yes.
And Lewis in a Ferrari.
Carlos Sainz takes P3. Williams gets a podium. Ferrari dumped him. Williams has crowned him. Sainz is doing in 1 year what Leclerc hasn't done in 5. Williams just embarrassed Aston Martin, just embarrassed Ferrari, embarrassed Red Bull. Like, they came out and decimated this week on merit.
It's unreal. And this
Sainz qualifying lap was in the dry, just like everybody else's. So it wasn't just, it started raining and he got a banker lap in. No, this guy drove the pants off that car and he put it where it deserves to be. First full race podium for them since 2017.
It's unreal.
Years. Is this the moment where Williams is back? Or is this just another piece of proof that James Vowles really has a plan for this team and the rest of the grid should be nervous?
I'm going to answer it this way. When Jimmy V said he had a plan last year, I didn't believe him because last year was their sophomore slump. It was Jimmy V's sophomore slump.
It really was.
They were in 9th with 17 total points at the end of that season.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they are stoutly defending 5th in the constructors with 101 points.
Strong showing.
So, yes, this was an absolute moment that Jimmy V, the whole Williams team, and Sainz should hold on to as we have a plan, we have clear direction, and we are going to keep building off of this.
Yes.
I mean, this was incredible. For Carlos, it was incredible. For Jimmy, it was vindicating, if nothing else. Like
100%.
This felt, there was such joy within the Williams team, and it was so interesting to like juxtaposition that against the utter just frustration that Chuck and Ferrari have been wallowing in this entire season.
Exactly.
And again, like what we are seeing is a team that has stagnated, Ferrari.
Yep.
And we are seeing a team that is ascending, Williams.
Yes.
And so when you stagnate, there's just utter angst and frustration and anger. And that's all Chuck has been this entire season, just angry, frustrated. We need to be better. And over in Williams, you're seeing this team just rising.
Rallying together,
holding together. And Jimmy V, the gamble is paying off.
Yes.
The man with the plan for Williams this weekend cracked a smile as Carlos came across for his maiden podium.
Carlos said it was the most, try to remember what he said specifically. This is the sweetest tasting podium that I've had. And Williams, this is what they wanted when they hired him. And they've done more in one race than Aston Martin has done in the last 2 years.
Crazy when you say it
with
like
probably
that.
a third of the amount of money. And
incredible.
I don't think this is a one-off miracle. I think this is a sign of real progress for Williams.
Yeah. Williams is that underdog shoestring.
Love it.
No money, trying to get sponsors to hold the place together team. And Jimmy V has really exhibited incredible leadership.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
He has brought this team. They were in the
doldrums,
basement, underground of F1. Like they were not competitive.
Well, they're only Williams by name now. They were sold. The family couldn't hold it together. They weren't doing it. And he came in and he turned that place around. For me, they are the underdog, like you said, they are what I wish Haas was. They have that grit followed by results.
Yeah. Haas more and more, especially this season, has felt
since they hired Ocon,
like a flash in the pan.
Yes.
Last year, they really came out. They were 7th in the constructors, 58 points. This year, they're down in 9th. They're trailing Kick.
Yeah.
They're trailing Aston. They're trailing Racing Bulls. They're trailing Williams. These were all teams who they beat last season.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Kick. They beat Williams. They beat Racing Bulls when it was V-Carb.
Yes.
All of those have vaulted over Haas.
Yeah. 100%.
And now Alpine is the only team that they're leading.
Yes.
And this just feels like a massive switcheroo where Williams
100%.
said, hey, we're taking that energy to new heights. And Haas just took the Williams slot in the paddock, which is too bad.
It is too bad, especially in a season that has become full of surprises. Like think about today. You have Antonelli, Lawson, and Sonoda beating Norris, Leclerc, and Hamilton. What?
In what universe?
That doesn't make any sense. But in a season that's been full of surprises like that, where has Haas been? There or thereabouts.
They're just at the bottom.
Exactly.
They're in the bottom.
And so
there's been some surprising moments
for sure.
Haas, for Behrman, for Ocon. There's been some moments there's like, interesting.
But most moments are like this week. Behrman in 12th and Ocon in 14th.
Yeah.
And just kind of leave you wondering what's next for them.
Well, they're going to be
the second American team. Still the least funded team because Cadillac's got money.
Yeah. Cadillac's rolling in with big money. And Cadillac's rolling in with
big
race
drivers.
Winners.
Correct.
Race winners who bring
Bottas alone.
Lots of sponsorship.
Lots of money.
Ocon and Behrman.
Nope.
You can't really hold a flame to Checo and Bottas.
No.
So I think Haas is going to be further diminished.
Correct.
Especially because Cadillac, I think, is going to really suck a lot of the oxygen out of the American market.
Agreed.
And Haas never fully
They will drag on the American market like a cowboy takes down a Marlboro. it will be over in 10 seconds. It's Cadillac.
I mean,
it's Cadillac. They have the Escalade and every cool car ever in the history of movies, old movies. And then you have Haas, and they manufacture parts for different machines. There's no competition here.
There's no competition.
They have Valtteri Bottas and freaking Checo Perez.
Checo brings with him
all of Central and South America and most of North America.
Yes.
And so, they will become the American team overnight. First race of 2026.
If they can't really produce some meaningful results, I'm concerned for their future in F1.
Yeah, me too.
I'm concerned with them actually hanging around.
That's what I'm saying.
We might go back to 10 teams.
We might go back. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Ferrari because we haven't.
That's the last notes I've got.
7-time world champion can't beat Sainz and Williams.
It's a new
Ferrari's golden boy officially washed, loses 4 places. What do we call Hamilton and Leclerc and Ferrari now? Hamilton finishes 20 seconds behind his replacement at Mercedes, Antonelli. Leclerc loses 4 positions. What's the bigger tragedy? Hamilton at Ferrari or Leclerc wasting his prime there?
Well, that's a really painful question.
That's what I was left with wondering this weekend.
I mean,
8 and 9. 8 and 9. What's that, like 4 points all up? Like, that's depressing. That's unacceptable.
It's both equally devastating.
Yes.
That Chuck has been there for so long and has given his youth, his prime to this team, and it hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
The experiment hasn't been successful.
No.
And then Hamilton, it's feeling more and more like Alonso trying to find a team where he can get back to the front. Now, for a second, it felt Aston was when they were scoring podiums. They've lost their way. It looks like they're going to rebound in 2026. I still have my money on them as being able to make that rebound. But it feels like Hamilton is just ripping a page from Alonso's book, trying to find that second life in F1. And it's both equally depressing and devastating that Chuck is wasting his prime and Hamilton is wasting his golden years with a car, with a team that cannot give them what they equally deserve, which is podiums, but more importantly, wins.
Correct. Yes, we've said it here before and we'll say it again. If you're not winning in red, you're losing in red. That's it. If you don't win in red, you failed in red. Period.
And this weekend was specifically painful because Kimi and Sainz, drivers Hamilton is connected to in two ways. One he replaced, one he was replaced by.
Correct.
It was this double like
it was a double. It was punch. It was a 1-2 punch. All that was missing was the uppercut.
Hamilton literally, he gets out of his car, and this was immediately after like the sign shot of him running to his team, and Hamilton just gets out, and just the weight of the world is on that man's shoulder.
Yes, Atlas shrugs as he gets out of the car.
And I'm like, this guy can't get lower, but it continues to get lower. No, again, like he made up a few places.
4,
which you expect.
But why are you starting in 12? Why are you starting in 12? And that's the hard part. He was so good. He was good all weekend. That seems to be the story with Ferrari, is that free practice 1, 2, and 3, they show up well, and then qualifying comes and Hamilton chokes. Leclerc does really well. Leclerc loses 4 positions. Hamilton gains 4 positions.
It's a net zero. It just,
like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What's going on
here? I mean, as my seat descends
explodes
to the lows of Ferrari. Here's, I think, the question that I'm wrestling with for next year. When I think about Ferrari, does anything change? And if nothing does, if I'm Chuck, what am I thinking? If it's 2026 and the results are the same, do I start looking elsewhere?
You're a Ferrari driver. You've reached the pinnacle of your dream, and your dream has let you down. They say to never meet your heroes. They've given you a good time, but you have not experienced the high of a championship, either for the constructor or yourself. You're now closer to 30, which for an F1 driver is like being closer to 60. And where do you go from Ferrari? For the last 5 years, you've been saying it's the greatest team in the world. Then where do you go? But how can you be someone like Chuck and go, so I just stop racing? Or do you go, I'm going to talk to a Red Bull. Does he take a risk like Alonso and end up chasing around performance for the next 5 years without any world championships to show for it? That's the hardest part.
It feels to me, and that's a really incredible insight, it feels to me like Chuck has just been gaslighted for the last several years, where this team has continued to say, no, we're the best team in F1. No, we're the best team in F1, Chuck. No, you're our golden boy. No, like we're gonna win. And at what point, if you're Chuck, do you stop believing the gaslighting?
Yes,
because we've stopped believing that.
100%.
You're just a washed-up 30-year-old who's still wearing his Letterman jacket from when he was the high school star football player.
Yes,
that reality is over, and it's been over for a couple of decades now. So Ferrari is the exact same thing. You can't continue to gaslight the world. You can't continue to say, no, we're the best. The quote on the Ferrari pit wall is the most important win is the next one.
Yeah.
Said by their founder.
Right.
So if we're to believe that's to be true, nothing before matters.
Right.
None of it. And you cannot win.
Yeah.
So at this point, there's a sadness I feel for Chuck, because the guy has put all of his eggs into Ferrari. And again, who could blame him at the time?
Totally. 100%. He was at Alfa Romeo.
Yeah. I mean, Ferrari
every
is
driver still wants to, theoretically.
But the pinnacle is just this like...
It hasn't been the pinnacle for a while, but yes.
They're sinking.
There's something about... There's a je ne sais quoi. There's an allure that red has.
Of course.
And, I just think, like most things, they promise a lot and underdeliver. It was a weekend in Baku that was not at all what I expected. Qualifying was crazy. And yet the race somehow, after Piastri crashed, just kind of was a procession. Qualifying was clearly king. And I think that's what we talked about with the development. And now we go to Singapore, which is another qualifying specific track, hard to overtake. Not impossible, but hard.
Yeah.
And so
here's the thing about Baku, to tag into what you said. Baku was a race where nothing and everything happened. It's the race that the entire drivers' championship might hinge on. It's a race that could change the entire fate of the drivers' championship. And at the same time, it really didn't give us anything on Sunday besides Oscar crashing out, which could be like Lando crashing out or his car crashing out in the Dutch Grand Prix, the deciding 100%. Factor for the championship.
We will look back on Baku and that will be the highlight. That was the weekend where everything just kind of got put into a blender.
Yeah.
And now we have no idea what's going to happen for the rest. And honestly, we needed it.
Yeah.
We needed it. But next is Singapore. McLaren's chance to choke again. The title battle goes under the lights. Singapore's meltdown. Who is going to survive the street fight?
I know Red Bull has historically struggled, but
you're going to go there. You got your Max high. You're such a Max sycophant.
Max is on a tear. The man's been winning by double digits.
Max can do no wrong.
He can do no wrong in your mind. I'm going Max.
I don't agree with that.
Stun again.
Okay. Well,
he's going to stun during qualifying. I go for him.
So you're leaning into the championship fight narrative. This Piastri rebound versus Max's momentum versus Norris's opportunity. You're leaning into that. You're like, Max is going to.
Max is going to.
I promise you, he won't even be in the top 5. I promise you he will not be in the top 5.
Blasphemy. Max for the win.
Do you think McLaren is going to win in Singapore? Or do you think
I think Max is going to win.
No, sorry. Let me rephrase that. Do you think McLaren will get enough points to solidify their constructors championship?
Because Ferrari's lost. It was a glitch that they didn't cinch it, and they didn't win this weekend because Ferrari, again, was nowhere. So, Ferrari is not going to keep them from cinching the constructors in Singapore.
Okay.
How about you? What is your
thoughts? Thing I'm looking forward to in Singapore, I don't think Max is going to be up there. I think that car sucks in high downforce, and I think it's hot and their tire deck sucks, and I think them and Mercedes are going to be and Williams are going to be nowhere. Okay. I think we'll actually see Ferrari do pretty well.
We were supposed to see Ferrari do well this weekend, but
exactly. It would seem to me, however, I think we'll see McLaren come back fully. I think they'll put these last 2 races behind them. But the thing that I love about Singapore is it's a 1.5 safety car per race average. We are guaranteed at least 1 safety car. Chaos is likely. Chaos is guaranteed.
That's all we need. Little chaos.
A little chaos.
Red Bull
and
is
I think
back.
That is the only way that Max wins is if there's, some major chaos. Because the car just ain't got it.
Max is the chaos.
Oh my gosh.
Max brings it.
And on that note, thanks for joining us for this episode and recap of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It has been wonderful having you with us on Rolling Start. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. Join the conversation and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you do. We might be launching Substack. No one knows.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. Thanks, y'all.
See ya.
You didn't say folks. That felt wrong. That felt wrong. That felt wrong.
See you, folks.